Good afternoon, I'm Jeff Grant Media, and this is Jeff Grant Media Reviews. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Cokunst Portable Blender. So first, let's unbox it and see what we get inside. Inside the box, we find the blender itself, the wand to clean the blender and the blades, and an ice cube tray. There we have it. It runs for 40 seconds and you just violently shake it back and forth. Now, this already looks much better than my first go around, but let's do a quick test taste. This is definitely better than my first go around. My first go around, it says to use 3/5 of water, and that just made it more like an infused water more than like a smoothie. It was very, very liquidy. This is still very liquidy. This was a whole bunch of watermelon, strawberries, the included ice tray, which I'll talk about in a second, and then some yogurt. I had it filled to the brim past, there's a max fill line on here that I cannot see because now it's dirty, but I filled it past the max fill line. And it's still pretty watery. A little more yogurt would probably help that, but the one thing I don't like is this mouthpiece. It's very, very narrow. I feel like when I'm trying to take a sip, I'm trying to suck more like I'm drinking from a straw as opposed to pouring the liquid into my mouth. Now, there's some ice in here because I did use the included ice tray, but even when I just used the water and fruit as per their recommended recipe, it was still difficult. So even when it was just basically fruit water, it was still hard to drink. So the ice is clogging up the mouthpiece a little bit, but really it's not making that much of a difference. The mouthpiece altogether is too small. It should be a little bit wider, especially since, you know, you're blending fruit. It could be chunky, and if you're gonna get a real smoothie out of this, it's gonna be a little bit thicker. So they definitely should make this mouthpiece a little bit wider. As far as performance, I mean, I haven't even plugged this in to charge this yet, and I've made a couple of drinks out of it so far, and it's good. I mean, struggling to get a sip, but it's been making them pretty good. This one I should probably turn back on a little bit, crush up this ice a little bit. Maybe that'll make this to drink it a little bit better. But again, it runs for about 40 seconds, and you just basically shake it back and forth pretty violently, and that helps you to mix it up. It's got 3 small blades at the bottom, so they got to chop all that stuff up. As far as the fruit goes, the fruit is pretty mashed up pretty well in there. Recipe-wise, you got to experiment. You got to find out what works for you, what you like. It's all personal taste. So, I mean, they recommend, I don't remember what was on this from the instructions. Yeah, pour 3/5 of water, put pieces of fruit into blender, tighten cover, blah, 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 turn on, shake, 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 shake. But it does do a pretty good job at blending up the fruit. You just got to work on the recipe. You want it more watery, you want fruit water, you want it thicker, add more yogurt, add more water. Chunkier, add more ice. I do recommend using the included ice tray. It sucks, but you're definitely going to want to use, I recommend using smaller ice cubes. Don't use full-size ice cubes from your fridge or freezer because the blades are kind of small and I don't know how strong this motor is, so I don't know A, if they'll chop a big ice cube, and B, it'll probably burn out the motor faster. But the included ice tray, the way it's rolled to go around the blender in this tiny box, it has a bend to it. It's permanently bent, it won't come out. Also, I found I had to break them in almost hand feed, almost individually out into like a paper towel or a towel, and then dump them from the towel into the blender because they don't come out very easily, so there's no easy way to just kind of roll it and knock them into the blender. And it was just a mess. They were everywhere because they're very small, so they were kind of just bouncing and rolling around the place, so I kind of made a mess. I probably got about half of them into the blender, the other half were on the counter, in the sink, and on the floor. So the included ice tray, it's not the best, but I do recommend that you get one of these, like just look at a silicone ice tray, something smaller, and use that because they'll blend up a little bit better inside the blender. But thus far, the performance, I mean, taste-wise, you got to mix around with your own fruits, your own recipes, your water, yogurt, blah, blah, blah. That's your own recipe. So they have nothing to do with the taste, but trying to drink it could be a hassle because of the small mouthpiece. So the mouthpiece too small, the ice tray, it's kind of useless. But other than that, it does a good job. So what I'm going to do is I feel like the ice cubes are a good size for me. Oh, I just made a mess all over my table. I'm just gonna, that's much better. I'm just gonna take the lid off and just drink it. Again, some of these ice cubes might be a little bit bigger, but even when it was just liquid, it was still hard to drink out of. So just pop off the lid and take a nice big sip. But is it worth your 30 bucks? But for 30 bucks, yeah, I think it's worth it. The only real functional thing that you need to worry about is the mouthpiece, but you can just simply unscrew it and drink right from the top. But it's a great size. It's great for single serving smoothies in the morning. It's great for taking on like a camping trip, something like that. And like my daughter likes a smoothie every once in a while, something like this. I can easily just throw in a bag in the car, take this with us. I can get, you know, a long weekend. We usually camp for like 3-4 days. I could take this, I could probably charge it off my battery bank if I need to, but again, I've made like 3 or 4 drinks with it so far, and I haven't even charged it from new out the box, so it doesn't even have a full charge. The battery life is pretty good with it. But all in all, yeah, it's not that bad. I definitely say for 30 bucks, it's definitely worth the price. So if you like this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications next time I post a brand new video. Good night.